Even though it may not feature in the same breath as 2000, 2002, or 2013, SummerSlam 2008 was a pretty damn fine show from an in-ring standpoint. Cena vs Batista had a true big fight feel, and Undertaker's Hell in a Cell match with Edge managed to top even their stellar WrestleMania match. Elsewhere on the card, the best rivalry of the year, Michaels vs Jericho, would receive a huge shot in the arm, with HBK's wife taking a huge shot to the jaw. Overall, not a bad show 2008. Not a bad show at all. I'm Plumpy from WhatCulture.com, and here are 10 fascinating facts about SummerSlam 2008. Number 10, it was the first pay-per-view of the PG era. 2 days after July's Great American Bash pay-per-view, WWE put out a press release to announce that their content would now be geared towards achieving a, whisper it, PG rating. The sex had already been scaled back, as well as adult language. After Shawn Michaels bled like a stuck pig at the Bash, the purposeful spilling of blood would be outlawed as well. SummerSlam 2008 was the first pay-per-view to adhere to WWE's attempt at playing it wholesome. At that pay-per-view, a man is literally chokeslammed to hell, so, good attempt. Number 9, Mick Foley was supposed to be there. In the spring of 2008, Mick Foley joined the SmackDown announce team, and it seemed like a slam dunk. Lovely Mick, bringing experience, humor, and emotional depth to weekly WWE programming. He'd already done it once at One Night Stand 2005. However, on SmackDown, he didn't quite click. Vince McMahon's overly hands-on direction wasn't for him, and his relationship with the shouty man grew strained once he began donning the headset. Foley's WWE contract expired September the 1st, 2 weeks after SummerSlam, and he told Kevin Dunn he would be leaving after that date. WWE wrote him out of the show by having Edge attack him on SmackDown weeks before SummerSlam. Originally, WWE wanted Foley to be a part of SummerSlam to commemorate 10 years since his and Undertaker's Hell in a Cell match, but since he'd given his notice, he was told not to come to the show. Number 8, Jeff Hardy wrestled with an elbow infection. A good but overlooked match from a good but overlooked show saw MVP beat Jeff Hardy in the opening match. It was your typical undercard wrestling match with no chicanery. Hardy made valiant comebacks while he and MVP gamely exchanged big moves until the baller man polished him off with his drive-by kick. According to the Wrestling Observer, Hardy had been suffering for at least a week before the match with a nasty elbow infection. He had the elbow drained once, had been taking antibiotics, but still was not at 100% come SummerSlam. You'd have hardly noticed though, as Hardy delivered his usual high-impact performance. Number 7, it was the first IC title change at SummerSlam for 6 years. It wasn't Ultimate Warrior squashing the honky-tonk man, nor was it Davey Boy Smith countering Brett's sunset flip. Santino Marella capturing the IC title from Kofi Kingston at SummerSlam 2008 was one of the oddest changes in the event's history, particularly since Beth Phoenix pinned Mickie James to facilitate the switch. After Intercontinental Gold changed hands at 12 of the first 15 SummerSlams, title changes at the event became much more sparse, and in a handful of cases it wouldn't be defended at all. Santino's procurement of the IC belt was the first at SummerSlam since RVD pinned Chris Benoit in 2002. Number 6, Michaels argued against facing Jericho. The Shawn Michaels-Chris Jericho feud had become a major sensation. The angle where Michaels' face was smashed into the Jeritron 5000 was beautifully vile, and Jericho's transformation into a suited sour fiend was and remains the best ever iteration of Y2J. Throw in Michaels as the perfect babyface and you have a rivalry for the ages. According to Jericho, McMahon wanted to blow that rivalry off at SummerSlam, but Michaels reasoned against that. Putting their finale underneath a Hell in a Cell match and a Cena-Batista clash would be doing the feud a disservice, probably making it less memorable. McMahon eventually agreed, but wanted there to be some form of story continuation at the pay-per-view, and boy, did he get it. Number 5, Jericho hit HBA's wife Rebecca too hard. That continuation was in the form of Michaels' attempted retirement at SummerSlam due to Jericho severely injuring his eye. With wife Rebecca at his side, Michaels built to a probable goodbye when Jericho arrived. The eventual plan was for Jericho to swing at Michaels, only for Shawn to duck, with Y2J popping Rebecca in the face, giving Michaels another reason to want to murder the man. Jericho coached Rebecca on the intricacies of the work punch, but when the moment came, both of them moved too closely towards each other and Jericho clocked her right on the lips. Well, angle worked, I guess. Backstage, as Rebecca was being checked out by the medics, Jericho and Michaels were both feeling awful until Rebecca suddenly sat up and said, "Is that the best you got, Jericho?" Other than the fat lip, she was fine. Number 4, a text vote resulted in Batista winning clean. John Cena did more than his usual number of high-profile jobs throughout 2008, losing to the likes of Randy Orton, Triple H, and JBL leading up to SummerSlam. Batista was the next person to get a kick at Big Match John, with the Animal scoring a no doubt about it clean victory of the company's top star at the biggest party of the summer. Despite Big Dave winning, it was Cena's status as the ace of WWE that made the company decide to go with Batista at SummerSlam. During the Raw of August 11th, WWE conducted a text message-based survey asking fans who they thought was the biggest star between Cena and Batista. Cena won that vote with 73% of the vote. According to the Wrestling Observer, WWE wanted to bring Batista closer to Cena's level as a bankable top guy and gave him the clean win as a way of establishing parity between the two stars. Number 3, Cena underwent neck surgery shortly after. later. Time has taught us that John Cena has the work ethic of at least 50 stout men and at least 84 slightly fey men. While he is voluntarily slowing down at the age of 40, he could probably push his way through a full-time schedule for years to come if he wanted to. By the time Cena hit the ring to wrestle Batista at SummerSlam 2008 though, his neck had been causing him discomfort for some time. In storyline, Batista's powerbomb was credited for giving Cena the neck injury, but the issues were more or less just standard wear and tear for a big match player. Cena actually worked house shows the weekend following SummerSlam but did minimal work at the Madison Square Garden event on August 23rd. He had a procedure done 3 days later that removed a piece of bone that was blocking a nerve in his neck and will be back in the ring less than 3 months later at Survivor Series. Number 2, The Undertaker worked with a stunt coordinator for the Cell match. The Undertaker's Hell in a Cell match with Edge was the blow-off to a feud that had begun more than 1 year earlier. However, the challenge was, how do you craft the first Hell in a Cell match in the bloodless PG era? To compensate, big spots aplenty. Massive moments filled the 27-minute skirmish, tables, ring steps, and even the cage wall breaking open. Edge activated the notoriously difficult OMG moment on WWE 2K, the clever boy. All these spots replaced what probably would have been a gruesome bloodbath before July 22nd. Kurt Hawkins reveals in a kayfabe commentaries interview that prior to the match, Undertaker was working alongside a stunt coordinator that walked him through every spot that would come up. And number 1, Edge wanted to get tombstoned on top of the Cell. The connections between the Undertaker-Mankind Hell in a Cell match and the one Undertaker had with Edge 10 years later were noticeable, and it made sense that Edge would want to have a similar star-making performance against a dead man. The PG provisions made it difficult and may have scuppered one of Edge's bigger ideas though. According to an interview done sometime after the fact, Edge admitted he wanted to go all in and had even suggested letting Undertaker tombstone him on top of the cage. Given how one of the chain link partitions gave way when Foley was chokeslammed onto it a decade earlier, it was a risky as idea. Had nobody died during the commission of the move, it would have been a truly remarkable sight. However, Edge was talked out of it and had to settle for Undertaker chokeslamming him into the bowels of hell instead. Alas. And that's our list. Did we miss any out? Tell us about it in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'm Plumpy from WhatCulture.com, and I'll see you soon.